So let's create our class boundaries. Again, we need to create our class boundaries because it's half less, half more, so we don't have gaps between our classes. So that's negative 0.5 to 9.5. 9.5 to 19.5. Feels really artificial, and it is. 19.5 to 29.5. 29.5 to 39.5. 39.5 to 49.5. 49.5 to 59.5. I need that for graphing this cumulative frequency graph. Now, what are the important numbers we need? We need the upper class boundaries and the first lower class boundary. I don't really have to do all this, by the way, but you'll see why. I only pretty much need 2 points. So for negative 0.5, the first lower class boundary, it starts at 0. Now let me pick my scale here. It's going to be 25, 50, 75, 100. Not the best scale, but I'm in a hurry. So the next one will be 9.5. And at 9.5, my cumulative frequency graph is 5. So down here somewhere. And then at 19.5, the cumulative frequency graph is 13. And the next one at 29.5, it's 32. So like we're here somewhere. 32. And then at 39.5, it's actually 69. And then at 49.5, it's 91. And then at 59.5, it's 100. And so it does something like this. Not the best graph, but the point wasn't the graph. The point is that if you draw a line here at 50, the median will be whatever number this happens to be. Remember, we said that the median had to be between 30 to 20 to 39, but now we're estimating it. And what we make the assumption is that between these 2 points, you have a straight line. You see? And that's the important part here. So if you know that this point here is 29.5, comma 32, and you know that this point here is 39.5, comma 69, right? You can figure out this line that keeps on going like that. You can substitute the y value for 50 and find the x. And then you would have properly estimated your mean. So let's begin that work. M equals y's of 2 minus y's of 1 divided by x of 2 minus x of 1. So that's going to be 69 minus 32 divided by 39.5 minus 29.5. So that equals, let's take a look. 69 minus 32 divided by 10. So that's 37 divided by 10. We get a slope of 3.7, I believe. So we're almost there. Let me see and make sure everybody sees everything. So now we're going to go ahead and do our point slope form, right? I'll pick one of the points. Doesn't matter which one you pick. I'll do the y minus 32 equals to 3.7 times x minus 29.5. Remember, this is y minus y's of 1 equals m times x minus x of 1. So you have y minus 32 equals 3.7x minus 109.15. So I'm going to go ahead and add 32 to the other side. That's y equals 3.7x minus, oh, wait, 109.15 negative, of course, plus, almost made a mistake there, negative 77.15, right? And then all I do now is I substitute the 50 in the y and solve for x, right? So 50 plus 77.15, that comes out to 127.15 equals 3.7x, and then divided by 3.7. And I get x is approximately 34.4. Now, you did it? You got it? That answer?
I got 34.
Okay, so that's close enough. Are you showing the work? Did you show the work like that?
I like that.
But did you do a line?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so you estimate it visually. How did you do it?
I got 34. I didn't do that. I didn't do the
Okay, mine is better, 34.4.
The book says 34.
Okay, could you have done this using a graph?
Yeah.
You could have made a very precise graph, and that would have worked. Okay, but that's the way they want you to do it on the test.
Wait, mister, I have a question.
Go ahead.
How do you find the class boundary?
Well, there's two ways to create the class boundary. You could have done, all you need is you need to conserve your width, okay? So the class width here is 10, so you could have done 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, or you subtract half and half and add half to each side of the class to close the gap that exists between the classes. They're okay with you going 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and 50 to 60. In fact, I'll go ahead and do it that way so you can see the difference in the answers. Okay, so let's say I created my class boundaries. Guys, this is why this homework was kind of important, because this is not trivial. Okay, this is not trivial. Okay, so let's say instead, for my class boundaries like this, I'll make it on the side. Instead, I would have done 0 to 10, 10 to 20. You can't see it, but I'll go ahead and scroll it to the side so you guys can see it. 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. So this is another way I could have created my class boundaries. That all that means now is that when the x's change. So instead of 39.5, I have 40. You see? Instead of 29.5, I have 30. I still get the same slope though. Okay, but now my answers look a little bit different. So all I'm gonna do is, I guess, I'll make a little bubble. I'm gonna scroll it up a little bit. Okay, so let me just do that same problem now with different points. So So we got 40, comma 69, and we got 30, comma 32. We know the slope here is going to still be 3.7. It doesn't matter. So we just have, let me just pick y minus 32 equals 3.7 times x minus 30. And it's the same question, basically. So you got 3.7 times 30. So you have 3.7x minus 111 equals y minus 32 plus negative 32. Sorry, negative 11, negative 111 plus 32. That's y equals 3.7x minus 79. Set the y equal to 50. And now we can solve for x. So 50 plus 79, you get 129 equals 3.7x divided by 3.7. In this case, I get 3.49. Sorry, different estimate. Sorry. I must have pushed the wrong button here. 129 divided by 3.7. There we go. 34.9. Ta-da. So what's the difference between them? Well, one is an estimate 34.9, one is an estimate 34.4. Now you could have done this graphically and it would have been very precise.
And you would get, okay, put 34.9, right?
As long as you're showing your work, you're showing how you estimated it. You're showing, this is an estimate. And when you do it with a graph, you have to have the graph sufficient scales that you can estimate 34. The way you do it with a graph is when you drag over, you would be able to figure out that this would have been around 34. Okay, so you see how important that problem was? Like, it wasn't like a giveaway problem. You had to be able to do it. All right, what was the next homework page? It was 2B, right? So which one do you want me to do from that one? I imagine number 9 is one of them.
Yeah.
What else? I gave 2 problems, right? 3. Which one? What's the other one?
4 and 6.
Okay, 4 and 6 are giveaway problems, right? The 6 was a little bit different, right? We had to do midpoints, correct? I'll go ahead and do number 9 in full, and then we'll talk about number 6 and talk about number 4 quickly. So this is going to be page 31, and this is number 9. The previous one was page 26, number 7. So page 31, number 9 says the CD price, the price of a CD is denoted by X. For 60 CDs bought in different stores, it is found. So for 60 CDs, it is found that the sum of X minus 12 equals 53.4. It says first, calculate the mean price of these CDs. So let's do that first. Do you guys want to explore this, or you just want me to give you the answer and just do it quickly? Or do you want to explore so you can understand? It's quick. You got one CD, first CD's price. You subtract 12 from it. All right. Then you do the next CD. You subtract 12 from it. Then you do the next CD and you subtract 12 from it. And you continue doing this until you get to the 60th CD. and you subtract 12 from it. And when you add all these up, you have this amount, 53.4. Now, I want you to think about this. How many negative 12s I have there? 60. You said 4, I know, but you see why it's 60? So just to be clear, look what I'm going to do. I want to find out the mean. The mean is supposed to be take all your x's, add them, and divide by a total. All right? So let's see. I have the sum of my x's from the first one to the 60th one minus 12 times 60. It should get me 53.4. So if I can figure out my sum of x's, I would just divide it by 60. You see what I'm saying? Like if I can find out what the sum of x is, I would just divide that by 60 and I will get my mean, wouldn't I? That's it. That's all I would do. So let's do it. Can we do it? Absolutely. What's 12 times 60? 720. So I have the sum of my x's minus 720 equals 53.4. So I'm going to add 53.4. So I know that the sum of my x's is 773.4. And if I take 773.4 and divide it by n, 773.4 divided, what's my n? 60, I get my x bar. So I'm going to divide that by 60, and I get 12.89 is the average price. Now, before I continue, notice what we did. Notice what we did. We did what? We took what did we do? No one? What is this here? This is sum of x minus 12. Right? What do we add to it? We added what do we add to it? We added this. So we did sum of x minus 12. We added n times a. And then what did we do? Divided by n. So this means that the mean is the sum of x minus 12 divided by n plus na divided by n. So it means that the sum of x minus 12 divided by n plus a. That's what we did. What we did, so let me just make some arrows here. So what did we do? We essentially just took 53.4 divided by 60 plus 12. That's what we did. And if you take 53.4, divide that by 60, and add 12, guess what number you get? You get the same thing. So in general, oh yeah. Let me write the formula down because it is in the book. And we wrote it in last class's notes. X bar thus equals to the sum of x minus a divided by n plus a. Ta-da! Now there's a second part to this question. I'll wait because some of you are writing. Now, I think as a consequence, you have a second formula. If you have x plus a, then you would do this. It would look like that. All right, I think. Oh, it's cold in here. Okay, let's do the second part of the question. Now, the second part of the question says, the mean price of a further 40 CDs is found to be 11.64. So now I say, so I'll put here second part. So 40 CDs, 40 additional CDs, mean price is 11.64. So what would be the mean price of all 100 CDs? So for the first question, we got what? What was the mean for the previous question? 12.89. So for the first 60, we got a mean price of 12.89. For the second 40, second part, I guess you could say, was 11.64. I don't think you just, hello, yes.
Hi guys, if there's any girls that are interested in joining the pinners, we're the most support team for the wrestlers. You guys get to come with us during competition for next year. Any girls interested? Thank you.
Take care.
Bye, miss.
Bye, mama.
Is today the test?
Maybe.
Give us one word to study.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll think about it. Now, would you just add them and then divide by 100? The answer is no. You would have to figure out each individual sum first. Why? Because this guy was 12.89 equals sum, add up all CD prices divided by 60. And this guy was 11.64 was a sum of those 40 divided by 40. So now you would have to figure out each of those sums, add them together, and then you get to go ahead and, which is easy. No, you don't just add them. No, but you see why not? You see it? So you should see that the sum of x equals 60 times 12.89 for this one, and the sum of x for this one equals 40 times 11.64. So you got 60 times 12.89. That's 773.4. And you got 40 times 11.64. That's 465.6. And now you can go ahead and say that the new X bar for the 100 CDs must equal 773.4 plus 465.6 and divide that by 100. And so let's do the math. So you get 1,239 divided by 100, and the new price would be, the new average would be approximately 12.39 or whatever. It's an easy question. It's an easy question, which is a great question for the next quiz. Oh, yes, this is a lovely question. You got to be able to do this. This wasn't that hard. It looked hard, but in reality, all you had to do is know these formulas. I'll put them on the board for you. They're not on the reference sheet, though. They're not. But it doesn't matter. You can always explore. But it wasn't that hard. I have some students in the honors class that are starting to study, but they still get bad grades. And they ask me, why do I get bad grades? I'm like, because think about it. You spent the last how many years or months not studying? You think you just study one time and you're going to be rewarded with a good grade? You get an up? Huh? They're doing now chapter 4, but they're doing easy things. Easy things. It's just they don't study. They don't study. You guys got to get in the habit of doing your work first. A lot of your slides.
Is there more space in this class?
No, don't bring any more. Don't bring any more.
Well, my friend asked me. She doesn't want to have.
Tell her no.
Why?
Because it's just going to be another failure.
She's smart. No, she's smart. She just doesn't want to have that class.
No, tell her to die.
Okay.
In that class. No, tell her, look, if she really wants to come, that's fine, but yes. Be careful. So let's go ahead and continue. If she wants to, she can come, but the thing is that I don't know if the counselor is going to want to do that because we're already more than halfway through the year. She's in pure math.
Yeah, she's in ACE.
Okay, so she's fine. She'll survive. What grade is she getting in there?
I don't know. Yeah.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and talk about question number 6 quickly. I'm not going to do it, though. So question number 6 asks you to calculate the mean. So number 6, it says, calculate the mean. And in essence, it's saying estimate the mean. And what it gives you is it gives you a group frequency distribution. So it gives you some classes. All right. And then, let me see 1 second. And then we have the frequencies, right? So we have 1, 1. In 1 second. Oh man, I pressed the wrong button. One, 6, 17, 16, 4, 2, 2. And they want you to calculate the mean. So what you're supposed to do here is you have to create a midpoint. You have to create a midpoint. So here are your classes. Here's the frequency. You need a midpoint because you don't know which number to represent your x here. So your classes are from 0 to 4. 0 plus 4 is 4, divided by 2 is 2. So you can say that the midpoint here, the midpoint, I'll just write it over here. Midpoint is 2. The next one will be what? 7. All right, make sure I did it right. I'm just.
The last one is 44.
44. So, because
It's
44. It's 42.
It is?
Yeah, because you're adding, 40 plus 40. We don't know. So what's 84 divided by 2 is 42. Okay, so we're good. So then what you're supposed to do, don't worry. So we have, what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to execute this formula here, right? And what was the sum of f, by the way? If we added up all the numbers, what do we get? What was the sum of f? Do you guys know what the sum of f was? Okay. 16 plus 4 is 20. It was exactly 50? Yeah, it was 50. Don't worry, I'm looking at the question. All right, so now you just do 1 times 2. 1 plus 1 times 7. Plus 1 times 12. Plus 6 times 17. Plus 17 times 22. Plus 16 times 27, I believe. No, now I'm messing up, guys. No, it's 16 times 27, yeah. Plus 4 times 32. I shouldn't have flipped the order I was doing things. So I did 1 times 7, whatever, it doesn't matter. Then 2 times 37. Then 2 times 42. And then you do all that math there and divide it by how much? Yep.
Sorry, no, what did I do wrong?
What do you do?
Instead of writing 40 to 44, I wrote 40 to 49.
Okay.
But I got 24 and 24, and the answer is 24.
Okay.
That was like close.
Yeah, you would have still probably gotten almost full credit for it on the test. That's so what was the answer you say, Mama?
It was 24.3, like yeah.
24.3. And that's the math you do.
And I did that one.
If you
So you
give
put
me
on the board and I got it right.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, it's 2 plus 7 plus 12. Plus what's 16 times 7? 17 times 22. 300 what? 16 times 27. 4 times 32. 100 what? 28. The next one. And the next one. 84. And now you add them all up and divide by 50. What does it get you?
I got
1,215. What's that divided by 50?
20.
Nobody wants to do it? Okay.
I said 24.
It says it's exactly?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you do wrong? Hey, well, those are little mistakes that's why you show your work, because it's very easy to make a mistake when, when you have so many numbers. All right, the next section was section 2C, I think. Okay. Was it 2C? Let me see. Yes. Be careful. The next one was page 35, number 5. Any questions on that one? Any questions on number 5 from section 2C? Any questions from number 5 on 2C? It wants you to find a mean, median, mode of that. Yep. Okay, so let's tackle this problem quickly, and then we'll do the last one. And I want to go ahead. I don't know if I have enough time to start chapter 3. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. This is page 35, number 5. Okay, so for this question, they give you a frequency distribution. And the frequency distribution, I'm going to do it vertically. And the book, it's horizontally, but it doesn't matter. We have the following. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's the x's. And here we have the frequency. So we have 1, 2, 1, 4, 4, 6, 7, 4, 3. So let's answer first the mean. The mean, x bar must equal the sum of x times f divided by the sum of f. They say n, but we understand n is the sum of f. So before I start, let me go ahead. The sum of f here has to equal, and it's zoomed out completely for me, has to equal 32. So sum of f is 32. If you add up all those numbers for the frequency, you get 32. So now you just essentially just go 0 times 1 plus 1 times 2 plus 2 times 1 plus 3 times 4 plus 4 times 4 plus 5 times 6 plus 6 times 7 plus 7 times 4 plus 8 times 3, all divided by 32. So you get 0 plus 2 plus 2 plus 12 plus 16 plus 30 plus 42 plus 28 plus 24, all divided by 32. So let's quickly add this up. 0 plus 2 plus 2 plus 12 plus 16 plus 30 plus 42 plus 28 plus 24. Take all of that, that's 156, and divide it by 32. And so our mean is 4.875. Okay, you just messed up somewhere. Okay. Now we're going to do our median. To do our median here, we should try and do first cumulative frequency. And then what's halfway? What's halfway of 32? What's 32 divided by 2? 16. All right, so I have two ways I could do this. I could write the following. I could actually go through the trouble and go 0, 1, 1, 2. You could do that. You could do 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, and 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8. And let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 32. What's half of 32? We got to take the 16th number and the 17th number, add them and divide by 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 6, 17. So this is a 16 and 17 number. 5 plus 5 divided by 2 is still going to be 5. So we could have done that. So the median is 5. The median is 5. However, this process doesn't work for group frequency distribution, and this is cumbersome. So if we do our cumulative frequency distribution, we have 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 1 plus 2 plus 3. 1 plus 2 plus 1. 1 plus 2 plus 1. 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 4. Okay, so add. Add. Right? 8 plus 4. 12, 8. So where does 16 happen? So think about it. Here, 4, when you have the 4 here, so here's how you can see this. So 16 happens somewhere here, right? So when you have that 4 there, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You see that? 18. So it's this guy and this guy. Add them and divide by 2. That's your median. Now, what's the mode here? What's the mode? Which number repeats the most? Well, it's not 6. Oh, yeah, there you go. This guy. Thank you. It's this guy. So the mode is 6. Because 6 repeats how many times? 7. So this would register as basically a peak if we were to do a histogram. So the next thing we need to do is we need to do a histogram because that's part of the question. Oh, look at that. Okay, so let's do a histogram for this frequency distribution. So let's do that. Ay, coño. So we have 0, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5, we have 6, we have 7, and we have 8. And then we have the frequencies that range from 1 all the way to 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 0 happens how many times? 1. So here we go. 1. 1 happens how many times? 2 happens how many times? 3 happens how many times? 4 happens how many times? 5 happens how many times? 6 happens how many times? And then 7 happens how many times? And then 8 happens how many times? And not the best sketch, but there it is. So what type of distribution, what type of shape does this distribution have? Well, let's talk about a few shapes that you could have. And then you could tell me which one it is. So we have a left skew where the tail is on the left. It's that one. We also have a right skew with the tails on the right. All right. We also have one that's nice and even on both sides. We call it symmetric. And we also have another one, which is called uniform. It's just the same throughout. Now, a few things to mention. A few things to mention here. When you have a left skew, the mean gets dragged out more to the left. Your median will be somewhere here, and the mode happens there. When you have a right skew, your mean gets dragged out towards the right tail. The median will be somewhere around here. And the mode, of course, is the peak. When you have something symmetric or approximately symmetric, the mean equals the median, which equals the mode. They're all the same. When you have a uniform distribution, the mean equals the median. There's no mode because they're all the same height. And we usually say that if this is A and this is B, then A plus B divided by 2 equals the median or the mean. Now, I'll summarize it using symbols here. The mean is less than the median, which is less than the mode when it's left skew. Sometimes referred to as a negative skew. The mean is bigger than the median, which is bigger than the mode when it's a right skew. Okay? So there's a lot of little things here that you get from the problems that you do. But it requires you to go home and do it. All right. And the last part of the homework was page 37, 5, and 6. Do we have questions on that? Which one? 5? Let's do 6, and then we'll talk about 5. Because it just requires me to graph it. Yes. Yes. So let me go ahead and tackle number. Give me 1 second. I got an email here. Okay, there. Let me go ahead and tackle number 5 first. Let me tell you, I'm really impressed with my tablet. I don't realize I use this every day. For the first time in my life, I've actually used the technology significantly. I mean, the smart board is technology, but it's not like, it's okay. It's like just a board, but this is different. This is used for everything. Okay, so we're doing number 6 on page 37. Now again, as of this moment, until I put that homework grade, everybody has 2 A's in the class. And at the end of the week, you're gonna get a 3rd A. Okay? So the homework is not going to be killer, but what can hurt you are those quiz grades, because the homework grade, I'm not counting it heavy. Okay. But the quizzes and the tests are going to be heavy. And in next class, especially with the effort I spent today, I expect you guys to show me a decent effort on the homework, on the quiz. Okay. So number 6 says an ordinary dice was thrown 50 times and the resulting scores were summarized in a frequency table. The mean score, so we rolled 50 times. An ordinary dice was thrown 50 times, and the resulting scores were summarized in a frequency table. The mean score was calculated to be 3.42. It was later found that frequencies 12 and 9 of 2 consecutive scores had been swapped. Okay, so So 2 scores, frequencies, 12 and 9 were swapped. What does the correct mean? What is the correct mean? Okay, so I'm assuming it's what they mean is die, not dice, but I guess so. I'm assuming it's die. So 1 through 6 were the possible answers. So if we had a frequency distribution here, okay, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And they basically would have these numbers here: frequency 1, frequency 2, frequency 3, frequency 4, frequency 5, frequency 6. Now, X bar would have been equal to the sum of X times F divided by the sum of F. We know sum of F is equal to 50. We also know that X bar equals to 3.42. So we can indirectly find, or directly, however you want to say it. If you take, I'll show you the work. If you take X bar and multiply it times the sum of F, you get the sum of X times F. So we can indirectly find it or directly find it. It's not indirectly, it's directly by just multiplying. So 3.42 times 50, and we get that the sum of X times F is 171. So good. So we can say now the sum of X times F equals 171. Now, that doesn't help out too much. It says that it was later found that the frequencies 12 and 9 of 2 consecutive scores have been swapped. So you could have had 12 and 9 here, or maybe you could have had 12 and 9 here, or maybe 12. I mean, it's going to start getting cramped up there. But you could have had 12 and 9 with 1 and 2, or maybe 2 and 3, or maybe 3 and 4, or 4 and 5, or 5 and 6, because it would have been 2 consecutive scores. And we had swapped it by mistake when we were writing it. So if we put them correctly, that means the 9 before the 12, what would be the right score? The right mean. But some of you might say, well, but we don't know if it's a 1 or a 2 or a 3 and a 4. So any ideas on that? I've done this question before, but it's been a while. Like, does it matter which one I swapped? No. I mean, we have very limited information. Says there, it was found later that the frequencies 12 and 9 of 2 consecutive scores had been swapped. What is the correct value? Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you take 1 times 12, coño, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second to zoom out completely. Let's just think about the ones they couldn't be first. For instance, what about 12 times 5 and then do it with 6 times 12 times 6. I mean 9 times 6. When we do the last two, we get 114. So it might be possible that it might work on those. but it takes up practically everything. Practically everything. I'm not sure. Do you guys have any ideas on how to proceed with this? Because that one has me a little bit stumped right now. Okay, so let's explore. So you have 1 times f of 1 plus 2 times f of 2 plus 3 times f of 3 plus 4 times f of 4 plus 5 times f of 5 plus 6 times f of 6, all must equal to 171, all divided by 50. We know we divide 171 by 50, we get 3.42. My problem is that when you flip a 12 and a 9, it all depends on which one it is on, because that will vary the answer considerably. So I would say I'm going to cheat by looking in the back, because this is what I would do if I were doing this question at home and I get stuck. I would kind of see if I could reverse engineer it, and so that I may learn. So this is number 6. Oh, there you go. That's exactly right. Okay. So there's no exact answer to it. There's no exact answer to it. It just depends which ones you flip. So what they want you to do then is determine the maximum amount that it would vary by and the minimum amount it will vary by. Because if it was 12 and 9, 1 and 2, it's very different than if it was 5 and 6, 12 and 9. So what you do is you find the difference it would have been with 5 and 6. You would have found the difference between 1 and 2. And then you would just state, like they say, it could have been plus 0.06 or minus 0.06, depending on which one it was. So that's it. That's all it was. Okay. Now, in regards to the next question. Stop for what?
We have 10 minutes left.
10 minutes is a lot of time. Look, you had trouble with number 5? It's really long. Okay, well, draw a histogram. Okay. Estimate the mean. Okay. Estimate the median. Well, we've done this. We're already done. You should be able to do number 5 without issue. All it is can you find a mean? Number 5 on page 37. We're already done. We've done this question where we found the mean for a group frequency distribution. We already found the median by, sliding over and you got to do either you create your class boundaries or you close the gaps in whichever way you want. So you should be good. You should be okay with that. Guys, there is a test next class on this stuff. Please prepare. If you don't want to prepare, that's fine. Yes. Basically, it's what was for homework. Yes, ma'am. Oh no, go. You see somebody else